Good morning, everyone. When you think of Samsung, you probably picture a sleek smartphone, a stunning QLED TV, or perhaps the memory chips powering your own laptop. It's a brand that's synonymous with cutting edge technology. But what if I told you this global tech empire started with dried fish and noodles? Today, we're diving into the Samsung saga from groceries to galaxies. We will explore the incredible timeline of this tech giant, analyze the complex business model that fuels its innovation, understand who its customers are, and look at the critical challenges it faces right now in this rapidly changing market. Our story begins in 1938. Lee Byung-chul founded Samsung not as a tech company, but as a small trading company in Daegu, Korea, dealing in groceries and even its own noodles. The first pivotal moment, the electronic leap, wouldn't happen for another 3 decades. In 1969, Samsung Electronics was established, and its first product was a black and white television. Then, in 1983, Samsung truly signaled its ambitions by entering the PC and chip market. It produced its first personal computer, the SPC 1000, and more importantly, began mass producing 64K DRAM chips. This was the seed of its future empire. By 1992, that seed had grown. Samsung achieved memory dominance, becoming the world's largest producer of DRAM, a position it has largely held ever since. But growth revealed flaws. In 1995, Chairman Lee Kun-hee initiated a radical quality revolution. In a legendary event, he had 150,000 defective mobile phones piled up and burned, signaling a new, uncompromising commitment to quality. This set the stage for 2009, a landmark year. A galaxy is born. Samsung launched the i7500, its first ever smartphone to run on the Android operating system, marking the beginning of its dominant Galaxy brand. Just 3 years later, in 2012, Samsung cemented its position as the king of mobile. Driven by the massive success of the Galaxy S series, it officially overtook Nokia to become the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer by unit sales. And that brings us to today. Samsung operates as a massive global conglomerate, a leader not just in smartphones, but in memory chips, TVs, home appliances, and a pioneer in future tech like 5G, AI, and the Internet of Things. But no company, not even one as large and integrated as Samsung, succeeds alone. Their success relies on building a connected global ecosystem, which brings us to Samsung's key partners. In OS and software, Google is a core partner, providing the Android OS for phones and Wear OS for watches. Microsoft is also deeply integrated with Link to Windows and Microsoft 365 services. For critical components, Qualcomm's Snapdragon processors power many of its flagship phones. AMD collaborates on RDNA graphics technology for Samsung's own Exynos chips, and Corning provides the durable Gorilla Glass that protects our screens. On the content and media side, partners like Netflix, Spotify, and YouTube are deeply integrated for seamless entertainment. In IoT and audio, Samsung's SmartThings platform is key, but it's an open platform connecting with thousands of partner brands. And we can't forget Harman, a Samsung subsidiary which provides premium audio technology from brands like AKG and JBL. To get these products to us, Samsung relies on retail and telecom partners like global carriers Verizon and AT&T, and major retailers like Best Buy and Amazon. Finally, in supply and manufacturing, Samsung has a unique advantage, its own internal supply. Affiliates like Samsung Display and Samsung SDI provide its own screens and batteries. This vertical integration is a massive strength, supplemented by a vast network of global suppliers for other materials. So we've seen their partners. But what internally allows Samsung to innovate at such a massive scale? This is built on the pillars of innovation. We'll look at the four interconnected resources that power this global leader: physical, intellectual, human, and financial. First, it's physical resources. These are the tangible assets that create a huge barrier to entry for competitors. This includes world-class manufacturing plants, or fabs, for semiconductors, a highly optimized global supply chain, and dozens of dedicated advanced R&D centers worldwide. Next are the intangible assets. Intellectual resources like top-tier brand recognition and a massive patent portfolio protect Samsung's innovations. Human resources are its creative engine. As the chart shows, the workforce is heavily weighted towards technical and manufacturing roles, with a massive contingent of skilled engineers and researchers driving future growth. Underpinning all of this are the financial resources. As the graph shows, Samsung's R&D investment is massive and consistently growing, demonstrating a deep commitment to staying ahead. But, as the resource synergy diagram shows, no single resource exists in isolation. It's a virtuous cycle. Financial resources fund R&D. This develops intellectual property, which is used in physical manufacturing. This leads to global success, which generates financial strength, and the loop begins again. Now that we understand Samsung's resources, let's look at its key activities, the core operations that transform those resources into market-leading products. These activities include research and development in next-gen tech like AI and 6G, advanced manufacturing of semiconductors and displays, marketing and brand management through high-impact sponsorships, design and user experience unified by their One UI software, building the software and ecosystem with platforms like SmartThings, and supply chain and logistics to manage one of the world's most complex distribution networks. So what does all this activity mean for the customer? This brings us to Samsung's core value propositions, the promises they deliver on, connecting dreams with technology. First, pioneering innovation, seen in their foldables and 8K QLEDs. Second, the seamless ecosystem, where your phone, watch, and TV all work together as one. Third, uncompromising quality, built on their own trusted components. And fourth, a device for everyone. From flagship Marvels to the accessible A-series, their portfolio aims to fit every lifestyle and budget. Having a device for everyone means managing a massive global customer base. Let's look at how Samsung builds customer relationships using a sophisticated multi-channel strategy. Their strategy rests on four core CRM pillars: ecosystem, accessibility, community, and personalization. We see these pillars in action through specific tactics. The Samsung Members Hub app provides diagnostics and support. They offer 24/7 omni-channel support via chat, phone, and social media. They provide in-person experience in care at service centers. They foster community and peer support online. They use personalization and rewards to encourage loyalty. And they provide proactive self-service tools to empower users. This CRM strategy serves Samsung's global reach. Now, we'll take a deep dive into their key customer segments. Samsung's core strategy is to target a vast and diverse market with a wide array of products at different price points. As the chart shows, their market can be categorized into 5 key segments. While the mainstream and value-conscious user is the largest portion, each segment is critical. First is the tech enthusiast and innovator. These are early adopters and gamers who demand peak performance. As the profile shows, their highest need is innovation. They prioritize cutting-edge specs above all else and are the target for products like the Galaxy S Ultra and the Z Fold. Second, and largest, is the mainstream and value-conscious user. These are students, families, and practical buyers. Their key purchasing drivers are not top specs, but value for money and reliability. They are the target market for the Galaxy A series and standard 4K TVs. Third is the professional and enterprise user. These are corporate clients and creators. Their key needs are productivity, security, and multitasking. They need tools like the S Pen, robust security like Samsung Knox, and seamless ecosystem integration. They buy Galaxy S Ultra phones and Tab S series tablets. Fourth, the lifestyle and design-conscious user. These individuals see tech as an extension of their personal style. Their top priorities are design and aesthetics and customization. This segment is the target for stylish products like the Galaxy Z Flip and the Frame TV. Finally, we have the home ecosystem builder. These are families investing in a connected smart home. Their primary need is seamless connectivity, with the SmartThings app acting as the central hub. They are the target for Family Hub refrigerators and smart washers. This chart perfectly summarizes that strategy. It shows how Samsung's product lineup directly reflects the needs of each segment. Tech enthusiasts are targeted with ultra-premium mobile devices. Mainstream users receive products focused on value. And lifestyle consumers are targeted with premium visual products and appliances, where design commands a higher price. So, how does Samsung use its global channels to connect with, sell to, and support these diverse segments? They use a three-pronged approach. For sales and distribution, they sell direct-to-consumer on Samsung.com, but also through retail partners like Amazon and mobile carriers like Verizon. For marketing and engagement, they use global events like Galaxy Unpacked, social media, and major sponsorships like the Olympics. And for support and community, they use the Samsung Members app, digital support portals, and physical service centers. This global machine of R&D, manufacturing, and marketing is incredibly expensive. Let's now analyze Samsung's cost structure. First, let's look at core operating costs. For every dollar of revenue, the majority, nearly 64%, is consumed by the cost of sales. This reflects Samsung's nature as a massive manufacturer, covering raw materials and factory labor. 27% goes to sales and administrative costs, leaving an operating profit of 9.2% in that quarter. Beyond daily operations, Samsung's spending is dominated by the big three strategic investments. This includes approximately $40 billion in capital expenditures, mostly for building semiconductor foundries. They spend nearly 11% of their entire revenue on R&D and about 7.2% on marketing. The CapEx deep dive chart shows that the overwhelming majority of that investment is consumed by one area, the DS or semiconductor division. The innovating versus selling chart highlights a core strategy. Samsung consistently invests more of its revenue in R&D than in marketing and advertising, showing that technological leadership is the primary driver of its brand. This table on cost allocation shows that costs are not equal. The DS, semiconductor division, is capital-heavy, driven by CapEx. The DX, consumer electronics division, is marketing-heavy. And the SDC, display division, is driven by R&D and manufacturing costs. Having seen the costs, let's flip the coin and look at Samsung's revenue streams. Where does all the money come from? This chart shows the approximate revenue breakdown. The device experience, or DX division, that's phones and TVs, is the largest. This is followed by Device Solutions, semiconductors, Samsung Display, and Harman. The key takeaway here is crucial. While Samsung is famous for its Galaxy phones, DX, a massive portion of its revenue and profit comes from its B2B Device Solutions, DS division. This slide just gives more detail on those key business divisions. DX includes mobile and TVs. DS includes memory, system LSI, and the foundry business. SDC makes advanced display panels, and Harman handles connected car systems and consumer audio. This complex business model means Samsung doesn't have one single competitor, it has many. Welcome to Samsung's competitive landscape. In smartphones, it's a two-front war. Its primary rival is Apple in the premium market. Its challengers are aggressive Chinese brands in the mid-range. In semiconductors, the story is split. In memory, Samsung is the market leader, competing with SK Hynix. But in foundry, chip manufacturing, Samsung is the challenger, racing to catch the dominant market leader, TSMC. In consumer electronics, like TVs, its primary rival is its classic South Korean competitor, LG. This leads us to a SWOT analysis. Samsung's strengths are its strong brand, massive R&D budget, and vertical integration. Its weaknesses include a high dependence on cyclical markets and slower growth in software versus its hardware. For opportunities, Samsung sees growth in AI and 5G, expanding its foundry business and growing in automotive electronics. Finally, the threats are significant. Intense price competition from China, geopolitical risks like the US-China tech war, supply chain disruptions, and a global economic slowdown affecting premium sales. Now, let's look at the most up-to-date numbers from the Samsung Electronics Financial Performance Report for Q3 2025. The news is strong. Consolidated revenue hit 86 trillion won, while operating profit surged to 12.1 trillion won, a 31.8% year-over-year increase. The key performance drivers for this fantastic quarter were record-breaking revenue surpassing 80 trillion won for the first time, a massive semiconductor rebound fueled by high demand for AI-specific chips like HBM, and strong premium sales of the new Galaxy Z Fold and Flip devices. However, despite that strong quarter, Samsung is navigating a maze of global challenges and faces intense pressure from multiple fronts. First, intense smartphone competition. Samsung is being squeezed. In the high end, as the profit share chart shows, Apple captures the vast majority of all industry profits. Simultaneously, in the mid-range, aggressive Chinese brands are eroding Samsung's traditional high-volume strength. Second, the geopolitical crossfire. Samsung is caught in the middle of the US-China tech rivalry. It must balance its crucial security alliance with the United States with its massive manufacturing base and significant market presence in China. Third, the semiconductor foundry battle. In the chip-making business, Samsung is in a tough race. As the chart shows, industry leader TSMC has a much larger market share and, according to estimates, a significantly better yield rate or percentage of usable chips on the most advanced 3-nanometer chips. Fourth, the AI and HBM memory race. While Samsung is the leader in traditional memory, the AI boom created a new challenge. Its rival, SK Hynix, was faster to perfect high-bandwidth memory, HBM. As the chart shows, Samsung is now playing catch-up in this new high-profit market. Fifth, slowing consumer demand. The global appetite for new gadgets has weakened, and consumers are holding onto their devices longer. This chart shows the average smartphone upgrade cycle has stretched from 24 months in 2018 to an estimated 42 months today, impacting overall sales. And finally, the sixth challenge, defining the next big thing. Samsung faces immense pressure to innovate beyond its current successes. The challenge is to move from being a fast follower to a true innovator. While they pioneered foldables, they must prove their Galaxy AI bet is compelling enough to drive upgrades and truly define the next era of tech. So we have seen the full Samsung saga, from a small grocery trader in 1938 to the undisputed king of mobile, and now a truly global tech leader. We've analyzed its key partners, its four pillars of innovation, its complex business model, and its core value propositions. We've also seen the very serious challenges it faces today, from intense competition and geopolitical crossfire to the internal pressure to define what's next. Samsung's entire history has been one of bold pivots and relentless ambition. The question now is whether it can use its massive resources in R&D, manufacturing, and finance to navigate these new challenges and lead the next wave of innovation in the age of AI. Thank you very much.